It's lonely on top of the throne. I am a king of the pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the world is my home and there's so many miracles. Bird in my dome and like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it snow. I'm sturdy as hell, as a vessel alone. They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like Nicki know what I'm about. I'm not the stereotypes. They do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Give everyone jobs. I'm not a guard. Go hard with a squad. I'm playing my part, but them LeBron. Rings to the team. I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to the well. Not worry about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together, leave the bill for me like. Hand on my heart, I give it all I got.
All right, Coach. U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. That'll be taken in the end zone.
That's what I do. Jam, 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 jam. Say. Check 25. He's checking crowd.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Deuce. Check 99. Back. Kill. Watch it.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Watch out.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
No. Watch the twist.
A first carry now for Thompson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Off-play action. Bird, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
51's the mic. 51's the mic.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to
From the gun, Bird. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Fielded at the 33. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Cook. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
45 to Mike. 45 to Mike. Watch the run. Watch the run. 45, 45, 45, Mike. 45.
Operating from the gun. Bird. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They'll start things on first with Tarik Cohen. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Come on. Mike. Hey, 18. Yeah, I got you. Mike's 40. It's been a long day for you.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it, and he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Here's a 2nd and 7. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. They run. Cook with a first down and much more. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Trubisky gives to Cohen, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Motion, watch in. Man left.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd.
18.
On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That burst good for 20 and a first down. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in first downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in a position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a first down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, it's Cohen. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. On third down, Trubisky. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Second and 2. He's got it complete to Thompson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
From the gun, Bird. And he finds Cook. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm here all day. Check. SOS.
Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Let's get it.
To throw on second down. Bird. Open here, Adam Thielen. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A gain of 6 there on first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to the ground, Cook. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Check. Fresno. Let's see it.
On first down, Thompson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll run with Thompson. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Oh, yeah, and here we go again.
Off the play fake. Bird going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
54. Hey, defense, let's go.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. Well, they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Well, he can be a load to handle off the edge, and he can do it against the pass. Sure, he can do it against the run like he did there.
And you mentioned a load. How about having to adjust to his speed as well? Because not only does he bring some pop, he brings some dash as well. A nice play in that situation.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Bird. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bilal Nichols able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. Marr able to put this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. The first half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you've got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. A give to Cohen. He heads right. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen, an 80-yard touchdown as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you get it.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going into halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. first down and run with Cohen. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On second down and 4, Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he'll go down at the 28. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Trubisky on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Incomplete. It's now second and 10.
So now they'll come up on second and 10, once again from the 28. Now Trubisky to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And this one is right through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it, and that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. The last play got just a yard. Here's second and 9 from the 26.
Like 22. Hey, alert. You get blocked, me. You get blocked. X3. 218, jump.
Again, it's Cohen. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Bravo! Let's make these babies cry on the way back home, yo. Ran, up!
Kill.
On third down, it's Cohen. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on fourth down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. They run it again with Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Looking to throw. Byrne. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Touchdown, defense. Show it up. Show it up. Check three. Check three. Check 36. 36. Hey, check it.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
I know he ain't got it. Watch 84. Watch 84. He's going.
Looking to throw on second down. Bird. Josh Doxson's got it complete. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So into Bear territory now. This is first and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now Cook. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. They're backed up here with a first and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Single.
From the gun, Byrne. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Vikings. First down. First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's first and 10 here. To Thompson on the draw. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll run with Cook. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal. They try again with Cook. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Alert. Check 13.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
180. Alert. You got to step it up. Slam. Pilot, 64, weak. Lock in.
Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. Hey, watch the screen.
Go.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Trubisky. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off right around the 43. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll run on 1st down. Cook looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw on 2nd down. Bird going to throw deep for the end zone. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Irv Smith Jr., his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. On 1st down, it's Cohen. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They try again with Cohen. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Alert!
From From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Operating from the gun, Bird. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the gun, Bird. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, Bird. That'll be complete to Cook. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
From the gun on third down, Bird. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Matchbox lights.
Throwing on second down, Trubisky, and he completes it to Cohen. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to lead to a third down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 42, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Throwing to start the drive. Bird.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And the pressure gets to him again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Back to throw. Bird. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On second and 11 now. Trubisky going right side here, and that's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. On third and 1, it's Trubisky. And that will be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on fourth down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. They'll run on first down. Cook. A gain of 3, second down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Joker. Jam. Say.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Vikings, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Bears, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us.